Mind melting to the max here when it comes to configuring external access to internal resources. Well, what have we talked about in this module? We have talked about the use of the remote access role here in Windows Server and how that remote access role can actually provide a variety of different ways to connect those external clients to those internal resources. First thing you have to do is get it installed and the initial configuration done on that remote access role. We also then, once we did that, went through a fairly exhaustive configuration of the different ways in which you can implement the different VPN settings for connecting users in. There is the easy way. There is the much more complex, but much better in the long run way as well, involving certificates. We did some minor configuration of remote dial-in settings and remote VPN settings for users using group policy preferences. We implemented network address translation when we have inside machines that need to access outside resources and vice versa. We also configured routing, and then we went through a pretty cool look at the web application proxy in pass-through mode, which is, as I mentioned, one of those technologies that's more on the ADFS side, but happens to be aligned with remote access and the remote access role that we installed here in this module. Coming up next, we will continue this look at how to get external clients access to internal resources. We'll also continue a look at the remote access role here in Windows Server 2012 R2, but very specifically one aspect of that role that could potentially provide one of the most useful ways to connect those external clients to your inside resources. That is direct access. Direct access is sort of like the web application proxy, except it has the potential of making your entire internal environment securely available to those external resources. In that next module, we'll discuss the server requirements for direct access, the client configuration, some of the DNS settings that are needed, as well as the certificates that direct access requires to protect all that communication when you've got clients out there talking to resources in here. That extended discussion on the awesomeness that is direct access is the topic for our next module coming up.